Prime Minister Tony Abbott met with Islamic community leaders today to promote his counter-terrorism legislation and discuss strategies to steer young men away from terrorism. Yet a recent study suggests that part of the answer to de-radicalisation may be just under our noses, in the morning paper. Reporter Lawrence Bull spoke with experts working on the front line with de-radicalisation strategies in the Islamic community.
Imagine a news reporter goes into a bookstore in your suburb, finds offensive sentences in some books, then writes a 2-page spread about the ignorance of your community. This is the kind of persecution Islamic Australians face on a regular basis.
Look, it has been the trend. It has been the trend for far too long. People, they just fly in, fly out from this community, and they become an expert within 24 hours. It is very, very unfortunate. And to be honest, they all come in with preconceived ideas, and they will keep on looking to find something that actually matches their ideas.
This is Dr. Jamal Rifi responding to a news article in Sydney's Daily Telegraph today. The article labelled the Islamic community ignorant. It wasn't labelled as opinion, but as news. The author went to Lakemba for 24 hours and wrote a 2-page spread criticising its Islamic culture, or at least what he assumed was Islamic culture. The only quotes were from people he labelled as non-Muslims, criticising Muslims. Dr. Rifi is a GP in Lakemba. He's a finalist in the 2009 Australian of the Year Awards Local Hero category, and he's preparing to run for federal parliament at the next election. He says this form of media fans the flames of Islamist extremism.
It has been very damaging, and I reckon the hardliners have been having a field day, because every time we'll see such an article as the one in the Daily Telegraph, and these young people, hooligan, and who have this terrible ideology or being groomed for such terrible ideology, they point the fingers and also say, didn't we tell you? They all hate us. I said so, and all that sort of things. And I reckon they feed on something like this. I reckon the media is the best ally for this lunatic.
Dr. Adrian Sherney from the University of Queensland School of Social Science is examining approaches to counter-terrorism that Muslim communities accept as fair and justifiable, and the impact of related current policies and laws.
As part of the research, we ask Muslims whether they believe their religion, Islam, is misunderstood, and what the origin of this misunderstanding is. And within that context, the media constantly comes up. So what Muslim participants in this research said was that the media often constantly portrays Islam and Muslims in a negative light. Participants very much felt they needed to constantly defend their religion due to this negative media portrayal. And in particular, one of their concerns was that often Islam and being Muslim was constantly associated in the media with promoting terrorism and violence.
He says many Muslims feel like they are under siege.
And what I suppose politicians and the public need to recognise is that the constant negative media portrayal of Muslims actually makes it more harder for the police and government to address the threat of terrorism or radicalisation, because it makes Muslims feel as though they are not valued members of society, and then that makes it more difficult for agencies like the police and the government to engage with them to solve issues around, for example, radicalisation. A lot of participants said they wanted what every Australian wants. They just want a fair